All right. So good evening, everyone. Today we'll have a workshop on Math 117, where we'll be covering some basic topics that is important in Math 117 course, and we'll solve some examples and work out on problems. And at the end, we'll solve doubts if you have them. So, yeah. So the agenda for today is, firstly, we'll try to solve some simplifying problems. We'll work on how to simplify equations, how to cancel out the terms, and we'll practice a question on that. The next would be addition and subtraction of fractions. And next thing would be squaring fractions. We'll cover many examples on that topic. And then we'll cover some basic identities, and we'll also do some examples on those type of questions. So these are our social media handles. Please feel free to scan these QR codes and follow us on Instagram or Facebook. You can get updates on our next workshops and tutoring centers on these pages. And you can also sign into this workshop right now using this link given on the screen. I'm Nidhi. I'm a sophomore, and I joined the special programs team this fall only, and my major is computer science.
I'm Aishwariya Ranjan. I'm majoring in computer systems engineering. I'm a junior and I'm with the special programs team as well.
Yeah, so the learning objectives are mostly the similar things as we covered in agenda. We'll be going over simplifying equations, subtraction and addition of fractions, squaring them, and we'll learn some basic math identities and solve few examples on those. The first thing we'll be doing is simplifying practice problems. And so right now I have a problem over here. So what we have in the question is 49 u to the power 4 multiplication with v to the power 3 and whole divided by 7 u square on v. So what I did here, I wrote 49 and I break that into 7 into 7. U4 would be broken down into 4 times the multiplication of 4 times u, and v to the power 3 would just basically be 3 times v. And we'll divide that by 7, u into u and v. So as you can see, we have 7 and 1 7 in the numerator and 1 7 in the denominator. So we can cancel those terms. Apart from that, there are 2 u's in the numerator and 2 u's in the denominator that we can cancel out, and a v from a denominator and a v from numerator that we can also cancel out. So after cancelling out all the terms, the rest of the terms remaining, we'll write them in the next step. So that would basically be 7, 2 times u and 2 times v. And as we can see, there's nothing left in the denominator. So what would be left is basically 1. So we can ignore that 1 in the denominator because it does not hold any value. So the final answer would be 7 u v v, and that can be written as 7 u square v square. All right. Next we'll go over addition and subtraction of fractions. So this is the first equation. We are given that x equals to minus 4 upon 5 plus 8 upon 4. So what I tried to do here was just negative minus 4 over 5 would just not, you would be getting confused in that. So what I did was I just bring out the 8 over 4 I put it first minus 4 over 5. So that would basically remove the negative from the starting, and it would help you solve the problem very easily. And the next thing I did was to make the denominator common. So to make the denominator common, we'll multiply the 4 into 5. So that would give us 20. And where there is 5, we'll multiply 4. So basically, this is type of cross multiplication, if you think. So 8 would be multiplied by 5 and 4 would be multiplied by 4. And there would be 5 into 4, which is basically 20. So that is what I did in the next step. And from there, I got 40 divided by 20 minus 16 divided by 20. So now as we have the same denominator, we can write it together in the next step, and it would be 4. So the numerator would be 40 minus 16, which is basically 24 upon 20. And this is not in its simplest form. We can still take out commons and we can still divide them. So what I did here was I divided it by 4. So this would be 4 times 5 is 20. So 5, and 4 times 6 is 24. So this would be 6 divided by 5. Other than that, there's another question here, which is -2/3 plus 2/7. So here also I did the same thing. I took the 2/7 front as to remove the -2/3 from the equation. And to make the equation denominator common, I multiplied it by 3 and here by 7. So we'll get 21 as the denominator, as a common denominator. And in the numerator, it would be 6 minus 14. So here 6 minus 14 will give us a -8. And so the answer would be -8/21. And here, as you can see, we can't simplify it more. So that would be our final answer. The next thing we'll go over is squaring fractions. So the first example is -5/4 whole square. So what this basically means is -5/4 into 5 minus 5/4. So basically multiply those 2 times because it's to the power of 2. So -5/4 so the numerator would be -5 into -5 and the denominator would be 4 into 4. And as we know that something negative into negative would always give us a positive number. So -5 into -5. So basically what you can do is just ignore negative for a second. 5 into 5 would give you 25 and negative into negative would give you positive. So it would be positive 25/16. And we can't simplify more than this. So that would be our final answer. And the next question is -5 over -4 to the power of 2. So here we'll do -5 into -5 in the numerator, and in the denominator it would be -4 into -4. So here the numerator would also give us a positive number and the denominator would also give us a positive number. So the numbers would be same. It would be 25/16, just the sign would be reversed because here both numerators and denominator would give us a positive number. So the answer would be 25/16. Here we have just -4 in the denominator and 5 is positive. So here it would just be 5 into 5 over -4 into -4. So here the numerator would always be positive because there's no negative in there, but the denominator would also be positive because negative into negative would give us a positive. So the overall answer here also would be 25/16. And in the next question, we have negative outside of the bracket. So here we won't calculate negative inside of the bracket. So it would just stay outside. We can use that negative later. So here what we'll do is we'll keep the negative outside and we'll just do 5 into 5 in the numerator and 4 into 4 in the denominator. So this would give us 25/16. And then what we can do is remove the brackets and put that negative sign in front of it. So that would just basically be -25/16. So you can see that depending on where the negative is, the answer could vary. So always keep in mind where the negative sign is. It's outside the bracket, inside the bracket, it's in the numerator, denominator, and you can go over these examples. Now we'll learn some basic math identities. So there are mainly 3 identities you will use throughout this course. And those are, first one is a plus b to the power of whole square. So these 3 identities, I would suggest that you remember it because they'll be very useful throughout the course. So a plus b whole square is basically a square plus b square plus 2ab. And sorry. The next identity would just be minus b to the whole square, which basically gives us a square plus b square minus 2ab. So the only thing different here is that in the previous one, it was plus 2ab, and here it's negative 2ab. And the rest is the same thing. And another identity that can be useful is a square minus b square. So what this basically is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. And this can be also used in the reverse form because sometimes question would be a plus b and a minus b, and you'll have to use it. You'll have to make it in the form of a square minus b square. So just remember these 3 identities and it will be helpful for you. So we'll do some examples on these identities. The first is x plus 2 whole square. So as we remember, it is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So right here, a is x and b is 2. So a square would be x square, b square would be 2 square, and 2ab. So it would be 2 into x into b. So here a is just x, not x square. So it would just be 2 into x into 2. And when we solve this, we'll get x squared plus 4 plus 4x. The last line is just basically how it is written in regular maths. It goes from high power to low power. So I wrote it in that form. It would be x squared plus 4x plus 4. But you can leave it in x squared plus 4 plus 4x. That's also fine. And the next question would be, just did it with a negative. So it would be x minus 2 to the whole square. So here also it would be x a square plus b square minus 2ab. So the important thing here is to remember that it is, when there is a negative, there would be a minus 2ab. And when it is a plus b, it would be a positive 2ab. So right here we'll have x squared plus 4x minus 4. And just to write it in the general form, it would be x squared minus 4x plus 4. And that was all. Those are the basic problems we cover in this thing. And the summary would be simplifying equation. We learned how to simplify equation and canceling the common terms out. You would have to just expand it, cancel all the terms that are common, and then write it in the short form again. Addition and subtraction of fractions. We learned how to add and subtract fractions. Squaring of negative fraction. So just remember, just keep in mind where the negative sign is. It's outside of bracket, inside of the bracket, how many times it has been multiplied. Negative into negative would give you positive. Positive into negative would give you a negative. And positive into positive would always give you a positive. So we learned to do that. And we also learned some basic algebraic identities and practice some problems on that. That was all. Thank you for joining.